Welcome to episode 282 of the official Gamestitch Podcast. I'm Ryan Walton. As always, I'm joined by Dan Reamer.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gamestitch listeners.
I thought you were going to bail out halfway through that.
Well, because I didn't think it all the way through.
Okay.
I got the good morning. I was thinking good morning, Vietnam. Yeah, it's really cool when he says it. I'm like, good morning. Vietnam doesn't work. What do I say? Gamestitch. Now it's just weird.
You could have done like gamers.
Good morning. Yeah, I could have. Let's start over.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, gamers.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
That's your idea.
The first awkward one I enjoyed more.
Yeah, but that's because you like watching train wrecks and bicycle crashes and things like that.
Yeah, I do.
So,
I like to watch meltdowns.
Yes, you like to.
I'll tell you what's really enjoyable are like news anchors who just
bail out. Just
not feeling it that day.
The ones that lose their shit, or the ones that
the ones that just
up?
get like hung up. Yeah,
I like.
I think it's not that I want I don't want to laugh at that person. I can appreciate the moment. Like you can't be perfect all the time. No one can.
True.
I can appreciate the moment of someone being like, I don't even have the next story. There's nothing on the prompter. Like I
like the guys that, like when they get so angry they lose their shit.
That happens sometimes.
I like those.
News bloopers are just good in general.
They're like, are you fucking kidding me? And they slam down their papers, and they go all over the place, and they knock their coffee mug off.
Yeah, news bloopers are just good. The sports one, it's for super viral, but where the young kid freezes up hard, and he's the one that ends up saying, "Boom goes the dynamite" at the end. But like that to me is almost painful to watch. Like I don't like when they're that bad, but I do like when they get a little hung up and then they get it back together. Like it's like 10 to 15 seconds of super awkward and then they just move on to the next story. Like I like those.
And in other news.
Right. That's a hard job.
I wouldn't want to do it.
That's a hard job. I
wouldn't want it. Because you're live on TV all the time and you're expected to be perfect. And if you're
there's
not...
no practice.
No, it's basically all improv.
Yeah. You have a prompter, but you don't run through the news before the news.
No.
So it is the first time they're delivering it each time.
Exactly. Yep.
And you have to be willing to like go on it like
whenever
a drop of a hat, right?
Like
we got this breaking news. Be at the station in 15.
Yep. Be at the corner of 4th and 6th or 4th and 10th or whatever.
Those are not the jobs you want.
No.
The on-site?
No, not me.
They put you out in a hurricane?
Yeah, or a snowstorm.
You're like in the last hour, the winds really started to pick up here.
Whoosh.
There's like street signs whipping by and stuff, and you're like, oh, no.
You ever seen the one where the girl gets hit with like a sign or something?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Or the one where the girl's standing in the blizzard and the snowplow goes by and just fucking coats her?
I've seen that one, too. I've seen people just get blown straight out of the frame.
Yep.
Like the wind just pushes them right out of the frame.
And then you have, like, jerkwad people who are always trying to involve themselves somehow by being douches.
Oh, you mean the people behind?
Yeah.
Those guys are assholes.
Yeah, I don't like those people. They annoy me.
Yeah, those people suck.
They think it's funny, and it's not.
I like when they're trying to play it cool behind there, though. Like when they're on their phone and they're looking right into the camera.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that they're talking to somebody like, do you see me right now? I'm on there.
Yeah.
Do you see me on there? And you're like, you look like a psychopath back there. That's what you look like. I do see you, and you look crazy.
Because I do. You look like you are right. You look like you are the news story.
Right. You're staring right into the camera, like they don't blink or anything, and they're on their phone. Like, you see me? Channel 2. You see me? You see me? Yep. I like those people. I also like when those correspondents are like, get out of the frame.
Yes.
Like I like when they break the fourth wall and they're like, get out of here. Stop acting like a jerk behind me while I'm trying to do the news.
Or somebody like wants to run in naked and they like hold up their knee and their elbow and they run right into them and turn around and run out of frame.
Yeah. The news bloopers. If you ever need to pick me up, YouTube news bloopers.
News bloopers are great.
News bloopers 2018. Get the newest cut.
News bloopers.
News loopers.
What?
Bluesners. I tried to combine the words. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. No. You failed miserably.
New Zooplers.
Just so you know.
Zooplers.
You can stop it now. There's nothing.
Nooplers.
There's nothing.
Sounds like something different.
Yeah.
That's a callback that you guys don't understand because it happened before the podcast. Figure that out.
So how was your
First
week?
correct answer wins the rest of the story.
There we go.
So,
because there are no losers, because we don't believe in that.
There are losers in life.
Oh, no kidding.
We are. If this is your first time here, two things. Number one, we're not a participation trophy kind of podcast.
No,
it's not us. It's not our style. It's real life. There are winners. There are losers. Mm-hmm. It's okay to be either one. I want to make that clear too. Mm-hmm. I've lost at many of things.
And just because you lose at one thing doesn't mean you're not going to win at another. The
right,
point
if you were
is,
great at everybody, life would suck. If everybody was great at everything.
The point is, you have to lose to understand the effort you have to give.
So two things if this is your first time here. You might be a loser. You might be a winner. You've probably been both in your life. You probably will be both going forward. Also, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Gamestitch. You can support us over there, whether you're a winner or a loser. We don't care. We don't judge. Like I said, we're both. Some days I do both. Like I'll do them back to back. I like the combo.
Sometimes I just go back and forth.
Yeah,
I can't decide on which one throughout the day.
Right. But you can support us over there. If you can't support us, if you can't afford to support us, if you don't like us enough to support us, that's fine too. Tell your friends about us. Next time you're checking out at Walmart or
we're cool dudes.
Kroger, Target, just tell the person on the register. I appreciate what you do. Also, check out this podcast. Check out this show. I like it a lot. Yeah. I think you'll like it as well.
Good times.
Say it just like that. Just say, I appreciate what you do. Also, check out this show. I think you'll enjoy it as well as I do. Mm-hmm. As much as I do. And then just pay for your stuff and walk out. If we get 1 out of every 10 of those, I think we're going to grow this thing.
Yeah. Maybe if you want to be super cool, pay them in gold bullion.
You guys take gold dust?
It's got to be.
You guys take gold flake?
It's got to be bullion. I have some.
What about silver nugs?
No, it's got to be gold. It's got to be gold.
I like silver nugs. Somebody tried to pay me a silver nugget, I would accept that.
You would, yeah.
You got to get out one of those like jewelry lenses.
I'm not sure that a Kroger would.
Yeah, I don't know. They got a Coinstar in there. You could probably just drop it in there. It'll take 6% and then hook you up with some. Isn't it 8%? Sweet crisp bills.
Don't they take 8%?
I don't know. The Coinstars.
They are the Coinstars. Actually, those are a lifesaver for a lot of people.
My bank has one in it.
Your bank has a Coinstar in it?
No, it's like their proprietary thing. Oh. And it doesn't charge you if you're a member.
That's cool.
It's a credit union I use, yeah. And you just walk in there, and you just dump your shit in there, and it just gives you the money for it. No questions asked.
That's cool.
It's NSA, no strings attached.
Every bank needs one of those. Or at least every credit union.
Yeah. Or every bank. I mean, why are you making things hard?
Because now you're getting all the bureaucracies of the government involved. Credit unions are usually a little bit more. They're still under the same jurisdiction, but they kind of have a little bit more say over their own stuff. If something is actually a federal bank,
right?
Now it's a disaster, and in order to make any change, it's going to take hours of talking and arguing, and now we have to write a bill, and now we have to send it to here and there. And
the one thing I've noticed about my credit union and all credit unions, they spend a lot of effort to make you understand they're not a bank.
Yes, they do.
They do not like to be called a bank. Mm-mm. Or compared to a bank.
Nope,
they're not a bank. Let's get one thing straight. We're not a bank.
They're different.
We're a credit union. Like, I understand. I just called it a bank. My bad. It's a credit union.
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Next question.
Right. Same sheet of music.
Can you tell me the difference between the two?
No. Here's why. So I know some of the differences, but here's the real truth. There isn't. It's a bank.
It's essentially a bank.
And I feel comfortable saying it's just a bank.
It's essentially a bank, yes.
Yeah. But I like a lot of the things. So I have a bank also.
A lot of the funding that the credit union does is it almost works more on a co-op sensibility.
And they push that hard.
Than any bank. That's really the only difference is essentially how the money comes and goes.
Right. They spend a lot of effort talking about that too, that, like that it is a co-op. Like without everybody, it doesn't exist because then there's no money and, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's a bank.
No,
and I have a bank also.
Which do you prefer using?
Here's the weird thing, and trust me, this is not the conversation I want to get into. My bank has a guy standing out front of it with like an assault rifle. Because I think they got robbed.
Oh.
And that bank feels way less comfortable to go to now. Like, I feel obligated to greet that person up front with a rifle. Like, I feel obligated to be like, hey, man, how's it going?
Hello,
and
how are you?
He doesn't speak.
Hello, how are you?
Like, I'm not sure if he's a jerk or if he's like, I have a gun and I'm protecting you.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? And he just looks at me and then looks back, like, canvasses the area more. Like, I might be a distraction.
Right, he's busy doing recon.
Right. Like, who sent you? Did someone send you here? And you're like, I need to deposit my check. You're aggressive right now. So my credit union,
none of that
is the kind of place, where you walk in, there's a lady that has candy bars for sale on her desk.
Yes.
From her kids thing.
They have a little table with cookies on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a totally different vibe. There's never anyone in there. Where my normal bank is Bank of America. There's like 264 people inside every time I go, and they all look miserable.
Yeah.
The credit union, there's never anyone there, and they're always super, like, maybe even too nice.
See, I only use a credit union.
Yeah.
I've got like 4 accounts set up at a credit union, all at the same credit union. So
I get way more of a like one of us vibe from the credit union.
Right. Like, you're awesome and we love you because you're part of us.
Yeah. Like, people come out of those little glass box offices that are all around there.
Yep. It's like a little cult. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that one of us. Like, you're not leaving. But they all come out of their little glass box offices when you're there. Just, they're going to make a copy or whatever. And everybody that comes out, it's like, hey, man, we appreciate you. How's it going? Like, it's just ingrained.
See the cookies on the table?
Yeah. Grab a cookie. You're like, I'm good. Here, I'll get you a cookie. It's like, all right, I'll have a cookie then. But at the Bank of America, they're like, if you don't have a slip, get out of line.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like the DMV.
I've never filled out a slip. I'm not filling out a slip today.
Because Bank of America is a federally owned bank. So it's like the DMV.
Yeah. Also, banks is one of those things that people will immediately attack you for your decision to use a bank too. People are like, I use U.S. Bank. They're like, oh, fuck that place. You're like, okay, it's like, it's fine for me.
Yeah, I don't understand. I kind of get it because different banks have different, different fees and things like that. But people
are very passionate about their choices, though.
They are, and I don't get it because it's even. I understand somebody getting upset is white versus wheat bread, but banks all do the same thing, and they basically take your money and give you your money. That's it.
Yeah, like if I said I was going to go to Publix, no one shits on the fact I'm going to Publix.
They're not like, oh, fuck that place.
I shop at Walmart or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, if you're like, oh yeah, I use Regions, they're like, oh, you're a piece of shit. You're like, okay,
that place sucks.
Right? Yeah, I hate them. Guess you don't like your money being safe, and you're like, I've never had any issues.
Yeah,
I don't understand why you're coming at me like that. First off, I've never had a single issue out of them. Clearly, you have been wronged in the past.
I apologize for that, but
on behalf of my bank, I would like to apologize for whatever they did to you. I, however, have been problem free thus far. But yeah, people really attack you. It's kind of like cell phones.
Oh yeah.
People will attack you for whoever you've decided gives you the best service too, or price, or whatever you shop by.
Oh, that's like yesterday. We'll get into it. There was a table with Sprint there. They're like, hey, take a scratch-off card. And I'm like, sure, what can I win? You can win a TV. Okay.
Absolutely. So I'll take a stack of those.
Yeah. So I'm scratching it off. It's like, who do you use? I said, Verizon. Verizon? Yeah, I'm very happy with Verizon. Oh, you must like paying too much money then. Here's your fucking card, dude.
Right. See, I appreciate what you did. You tried to get in for I'm like really happy with them.
I tried to get in front of it.
Don't shit on them because we're having a fine exchange right now.
Right, and I'm actually very happy with the service I get from them. Oh, you must like paying too much then.
Yeah.
Listen, asshole. I've heard about Sprint, and you might be a little cheaper, but your service fucking sucks.
Sorry, I don't like shitty service.
That's right. So I will pay a little bit more to get the good service that I'm currently happy with.
For the nation's fastest 4G LTE service. Okay, I've seen the commercials. I know how this works. You're 1% behind us. You know what? I'll take that 1% all day.
So he's like, oh, you must like paying too much money for your service then. And I said, yep, I'm happy with my service though. And he just didn't know. Now he didn't know what to say.
I love paying too much. Gets me off.
That's right. I did not go that. The thing is, I tried to nip it. I knew where it was going, and I tried to just nip it in the bud. And a good salesman would have noted that.
There are different ways. So here's how I would have addressed
and
it.
Instead he went, and even if he could have addressed it, instead he went to, oh, well, now I'm the idiot.
Right.
And okay, well, now the guy you're trying to bring in as a customer is an idiot.
Your decision was stupid to go with them.
Right.
That's what's happening. Where I would have been a little more, I would have asked, oh, do you like your service with Verizon? And you would have said, yeah, I'm super happy with it. As soon as I found out you have Verizon, that's what I would have said. Uh-huh. And then I would have said, well, what kind of things do you like about it? Let's have a conversation, open dialogue.
Right. What is it that you enjoy? Because now you can find out if I was just saying that to get you to shut up.
Right. Well, now I can build value the right way. I know what you like, so now I can position my product.
Exactly, and that's what he should have done.
Right. Instead, he did the thing that I can't stand, and he bashed competition. Yes. Here's the thing about most of top-tier companies, Verizon, your AT&Ts, your whatever you use, your Boost Mobiles, whatever, your Sprints, your T-Mobiles, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good.
Some are a little better. Some offer different things.
You don't need to down them as someone who sells them because they're all okay. Okay, they're all decent. And I can't stand, as someone who it is my job to sell things, I do not like when people bash competition. It's a bad look because you're bashing someone's decision to go with the thing they went with.
Yes.
It's not a good look.
You're putting that now on the customer whose money you're trying to get by first starting the conversation by calling them out as an idiot.
Right. Well, what he tried to do was put down Verizon. What he did was put you down.
Right.
Oh, you like paying too much, dumb.
Yeah.
Why don't you open up that wallet and let me get a stack of that cash since you like just throwing it out the window and you're like, all right, asshole, I don't want your TV. I'll take some of this money that I just throw away and go buy my own TV. I mean, that's what happens. And, if you listen to this and you're a salesperson of any kind, don't bash your competitors. You don't need to.
Yep.
Believe in your product enough that you don't need to bash competitors. Yep. It's not a good look.
Exactly.
This has been your inside sales.
Your sales second. Yeah, your sales second with Ryan and Dan.
Yeah, that show sounds terrible. Also, it's second really fast.
Also, what?
A second is very, very fast.
Seconds.
What if it was
sales seconds?
Okay. What if it was the Super Sales Show with Dan and Ryan?
Ooh, we still got the alliteration going on, which is nice. I like that. Yeah. I like it. That could work. The Super Sales Show.
Welcome to the Super Sales Show.
That sounds like something you listen to on like WXXI radio on Sunday morning.
It also sounds like the Super Sales Show sounds like a couponing show. Coupon show.
Is it coupons? Is it coupons or coupons?
Here's the problem. I always say coupons. Everyone else always says coupons. I assume that I'm incorrect.
I know it both ways. I've heard it said both ways, and I don't know which one's right.
I say coupons, but I'm very tuned into the fact that most people do not say that.
Most people say coupons.
Coupons is, and I think that's probably the correct form.
I don't know.
I like coupons because it sounds more fun to me.
Coupons.
It's got coop right in it.
Because it's got like a chicken coop.
Yeah, that's what I think of.
Like your buddy Cooper, who everybody calls Coop.
Yeah, Coop. My boy Coop.
And he's the crazy kid who does the dumb stuff during school.
You can also say, hold on, I got some sweet coops, and pull those out. But you can't say, I got some sweet cues.
Which brings me to one of the problems, one of the downfalls of the cell phone era, of the smartphone era.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back in the day when you could be at a restaurant and you could talk about the sweet apps?
Right.
You can't do that anymore.
Right.
You
right,
can't.
now it's something different.
Appetizers can't be short for apps because some jackass, or apps can't be short for appetizers anymore because some jackass decided that it was better for applications.
Well, because if you said, what kind of apps do you have, the guy at Chili's is going to be like, we have a, you can order before you get here.
Yes.
You can pay when you're here. You're like,
and now it's like we're on iTunes and
right. Yeah.
we're on the Apple Store, we're on Google Play.
Yeah. Yeah. We've actually got a fun match 3 tile game. You're like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
Which
I
is
meant
funny.
Cheese sticks and potato skins, jerk.
Which is funny because if you go back to, there's a movie from probably 95, Beautiful Girls. And one of their buddies is a restaurant owner, and he's constantly referring to the apps. We got apps. Which, if you listen to it now, if you were watching that movie now and didn't know what life was like back in the olden days.
They sound like pioneers, right?
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
You're like, wow, that restaurant invented the internet.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking? People, you hear people say coops, right?
Coops.
Got some coops?
Got some
No one ever says cues.
No one does ever say cues. Unless they're
coupons, but they're never like, I got some cues. I got some sweet cues. Going to save me a lot of money.
They do if they're walking into a pool hall. But
yeah, but I'm talking about for coupons.
Right. You don't ever hear people... To be fair, you don't ever hear people say, I got coops. Except for you. You're the only person I've ever heard say that.
Okay, but you just talked about somebody going to a pool hall, which no one does either anymore.
It's true.
I don't know the last time someone's like, I was at a pool hall the other day. It's like, what do you take heroin? Like, what's
this has been your?
Like, I don't even know what a pool hall looks like anymore.
This has been your Pioneer Minute with Dan and Ryan.
Mm-hmm. This is your. That's your cue.
People don't go to pool halls anymore, really?
I don't think it's that people don't want to go. I think it's that they don't exist.
Where do people go to play pool?
Like bars. Like sports pubs.
Which could essentially, well, maybe.
Now, what about an all pool podcast called "Here's Your Cue"?
Here's your cue.
Yeah.
I mean, that works.
Or chalk one up.
You could do chalk one up.
Uh-huh.
I prefer chalk one up. It's a little bit punnier.
Or we could just go around the nose and call it like side pocket.
No, not side pocket. There's
corner
like a
pocket.
game. Isn't there a side pocket? Or isn't there a game called side pocket?
What about corner pocket?
No.
What about rack 'em up?
About running the table with Ryan and Dan.
Running the table's pretty good, but it makes me think of poker for some reason.
No, running the table is not a poker thing.
I know, but as soon as I hear that, I think about...
Because it has table in it?
I think so. I think of table games.
Like D&D or...
No, like
because those
poker.
are table games.
I don't want to do a D&D podcast. That doesn't sound good to me at all.
I've never played D&D. I've always been interested in playing D&D, but I've never played it.
I played it one time and realized that not only did I not enjoy it, but I have screwed it up for everybody.
Because you didn't know what you were doing?
No, the Dungeon Master. I couldn't get over it. I'm like, you just decide whatever you want, whenever you want.
You were the Dungeon Master?
No.
Oh, you didn't like the Dungeon Master got to.
I don't like the idea of it. Because you're like, there's a path to the right that looks, nice, and it's, it's by the ocean, and it's sandy, like you feel the sun, or there's a path to the left, and it's full of, like, dead trees. You're like, fuck it, I'll go to the beach. You're like, a giant troll popped out. You're like, what the fuck?
That's fine.
What if I went the other way? I don't know. A unicorn would have popped out. You're like, you're just making shit up.
Yeah, that's...
Like, if it's going a little too well for me, so you make it harder,
There are certain rules that have to be followed as a Dungeon Master that I do know, but I've never actually played it.
So there are these guidelines, and they're supposed to be like, I've got this awesome quest, or whatever they call it. And I don't mean any disrespect. I just don't know the term. But they've got these stories that they've come up with. But at any time, they could just deviate. Now, I've been told a good Dungeon Master doesn't. Like, they have the whole thing, they know the way it goes.
Yeah, they basically write it out ahead of time or something.
Right, but when I played with someone who I felt like was just fucking with me the whole time.
Okay.
Like, you came through a clearing, there's a motorcycle. And I'm like, yeah, get on that bad boy. All right, roll it. It exploded. You took 5 damage. You're like, what the fuck?
That's
when
awesome.
has that ever happened where you just found a motorcycle, got on, and it exploded? So I questioned everything. I didn't enjoy myself, and I screwed it up for everybody.
I gotcha.
Only time I've ever played.
I would like to try it just once.
I don't. It's not for me.
I understand it's not for you.
It's not for me.
Anything that involves social interaction isn't usually for you.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Like, we have to actually get together? No thanks.
Oddly enough, I'm better at it than you are, which I know a number of people that would not believe in my real life. But
so here's what I would say. I'm a very sociable person. I very much hate social interaction.
I don't mind social interaction, but I am not a sociable person.
See, I'm very social. I enjoy talking to people on my own terms.
I don't. I absolutely abhor it. But I don't mind. I don't mind being in social spaces.
Like, I can go. Here's the thing. I put a lot of effort. Like, when I'm at work, I put all my effort into appearing that way, into being, very personable. And man, when I'm not at work, I don't want to do it.
I mean, that's totally fair. I understand.
Like, I don't want to. I don't want to, especially if it's like a forced social interaction. Oh, I'll be the guy in the corner.
I don't really have too many of forced ones, but I don't mind like going to things like, like to birthday parties or different parties or things like that. But there's a very good chance that once I get there, I'm probably not talking to anyone a whole lot.
Right. I make an effort not to be the guy on my phone, but I don't talk a lot either.
Yeah, I'm just there. I'm just usually there hanging out. You'll find me over by the food table.
Yeah. Are you shy? No, get away from me.
Yeah. No one asked me that.
Please don't be over here.
Because the thing is I can carry on. I'm not socially awkward. I can carry on a conversation.
That me either. I'm not shy. It's like I made a decision to not speak to anyone because I'd rather not.
Someone comes up and like, oh, what are you doing over here? I'm like, just kind of taking everything in.
Right.
Mind my own business. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Mind if I stay and talk?
Most of the time, they're good enough to like.
Great.
To go on their merry way, but
I'd actually
every now and then you get
over
the
here.
one that doesn't read social cues.
I've actually worked myself over here in the corner, hoping that you would come talk to me for the entire night.
Yeah, that's why I tried to hide.
Right. I don't just love olives. I'm over here because I thought no one else would be. I didn't want to have to say this. I was avoiding most conversation, but you won't leave. Now I've made this awkward.
Now you're going to go tell everybody what an asshole I am, and it's all your fault, pal.
Right, and I'm not really an asshole. You just wouldn't leave me alone.
The guy in the corner's an asshole. No, he's not. He just wanted to be left alone, and you couldn't read the social cues.
He's not friends with Mr. Olive here that wouldn't leave. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. He's a jerk. I'll tell you right now, he's a jerk. I was clear. I gave him all the things he should have picked up on. Right. The cues were there.
Yeah, and when that didn't work, I was just honest with him. Mm-hmm. I didn't lie to him. I was honest. That's a good thing. That's a good trait. Right. People hate honesty until you. People want you to be honest with them until you are.
Yeah, that's true. That's why you got to get in the corner, put some earbuds in, and listen to "That's My Cue." Mm-hmm. We recorded live from a pool hall. You can hear the balls in the background. You can hear them getting racked up. Yeah. What about check out my rack so we could get people? You're going to pull an audience with that. Nice rack with Dan and Ryan.
You could
good tight rack.
I like nice rack. Nice rack is good.
There's no way that you're not scrolling through iTunes and you're like,
what's this?
On the download, I'm going to check out an episode of this.
Let me check this out real quick.
Right. Let me see who's around, and let me see if it's cool to go ahead and download this, not on work Wi-Fi. Let me download that on 4G. Yeah, nice rack. That's maybe one of the best ideas we've ever had. It's really clickbaity, and I like it.
It's super clickbaity.
I'm into clickbait, so it's
super.
Yeah.
The best idea you had was titling all of our episodes Fortnite 2.
Fortnite 2? Fortnite 3? Ninja quits Fortnite?
That was your best idea.
Yeah. What a world. What a world we live in.
And I still want to start working on Hey Macarena.
It's not bad either. So we had a lot go on, and let me break time for you for a second. It is Sunday.
It is Sunday.
It is Sunday. It is June 10th. Here's the problem with Sunday, June 10th at 9:24 a.m. Central Standard Time. Only EA's press conferences happened.
It's true.
We're going to talk about it a little bit, but when you listen to this on Monday, presumably Monday, tomorrow, June 11th, you'll be like, well, they didn't even talk about everything that happened. It didn't happen yet. Also, why do you sound like that? Why do you sound so depressed? It hadn't happened yet.
I didn't realize Eeyore was one of our listeners.
Hadn't happened yet. I mean, these guys suck. That's not Eeyore. I don't even know what that is.
Dan and Ryan. Yeah. What's wrong with them?
The Doom and Gloom show every Tuesday.
Why didn't they talk about all the stuff that happened at E3?
So Ubi hasn't happened. Microsoft, Bethesda hasn't happened. It is Sunday morning.
It is.
EA had their show. Some things have come out. We're going to talk about those, but
EA Day 2 hasn't even started at this point because it takes place on the East Coast and it's like 6 o'clock there.
Don't get all Eeyore on us, though, about us not talking about it. Eeyore.
It's an adjective.
Right. And also understand it's going to be a week until you get to hear us actually talk about it.
Yes.
So that is the way time worked out, and it is unfortunate. It's not a good time frame for us. It's not a good timeline.
It's not, but we got to roll with the punches, man. We don't.
It gives us time to actually take all the conferences in and really take a deep dive, have some discussion beforehand, and I feel like we'll be better for it next week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wanted to say that. So let's talk about your event, then my event, then we'll jump into a little bit of news, and then we'll close this thing out.
Okay. For those of you that have been listening, you know that yesterday, well, actually this weekend, it's still going on, was the Flower City Comic-Con. And at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I was involved in a panel/podcast. Basically, the way it's been described is it was a podception. We talked about podcasting on their podcast. And it was a good time. It was a fun time. Good group of people. You want to check them out. It's Monkey Business is the name of their podcast. Monkey Business Podcast. I think it comes out every Tuesday. They've already got some up, but it was a lot of fun. I went to the con before and wandered around, bought some stuff, that kind of thing, and met some folks. But it was a really, Rochester is not the hugest city in the world. You can go on go to @ShirtlessDan. I do have a video posted there. I sent a small video of the city for Ryan from right outside the venue because he decided to bail on me and not show up.
Not exactly how it went down, but I'm with you. I'm following along.
Just making sure you're listening.
Yeah, I'm here.
So, it was surprisingly. I guess I was probably a little surprised. There was a lot of vendors there. I was surprised at the number of vendors, the number of guests for a small podcast in its third year. I mean, you had let's see,
for a small con. You said small podcast.
Sorry, yeah, small con.
Yeah, small con.
Beth Broderick was there. She's known as she's one of the aunts. I can't remember which one in Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Fun show from my youth.
Mm-hmm. She's the aunt was in that. Aunt Hazel?
I don't know.
The blonde.
The tall blonde. The goldfish. I just barely remember
the tall blonde. She was there. I got to shake the hand, get signature, and talk to Jake the Snake Roberts a little bit, who's one of my heroes from my youth.
Yeah, that's fun.
Let's see who else was there. Catherine Sutherland, known as the Pink Ranger from some of the different iterations of Power Rangers.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, one of them. Mm-hmm. Maybe Zeo or Neo. Wasn't there a Zeo?
Sure.
Power Rangers Zero. Zeo? I can't even fucking say it.
Are you saying zero or zero?
Zeo. It's like a Zeo.
Yeah, I don't know. I checked out of Power Rangers after like the first.
Yeah, after Jason David Frank.
Yeah, after OG, after Vanilla. After Vanilla Power Rangers is where I checked out.
Let's see, who else was there? They had a number of different local artists there. Excuse me. Who's the other one? Caitlin Blackwood, who played the young Amy Pond in Doctor Who. Some Josh Herdman, who was in Harry Potter. He was one of the Slytherins, I believe. One of the kids that Malfoy hung out with. He was there. So
Draco Malfoy.
Oh, Draco Malfoy. See? For an old guy, I know my Harry Potter.
Good-ass name.
So, yeah, it was a fun time. They had some neat stuff there. I, of course, bought some stuff. I did send some of my comic books in to be certified with the CBSC. Met some really cool people. It's awesome costumes, man. I love going to cons and watching the costumes because, man, the people that are into it and good at it. And I wish I could do it. I wish I could do that. I would love to dress up like that. But I would want to make my own costume, and I am absolutely no good at that.
Right.
So, but I love watching the different costumes that people come up with, and the different ideas and the way they do things. One of the panels I went to was the cosplay contest.
Yeah.
So I could, and all the costumes were just so amazing. So yeah, FC3 was a lot of fun, and I got to go on the podcast and talk about, podcasting on their podcast. They have a huge podcast. They have like 8 people on it.
There's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. So we do get off track a little bit. But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of laughing. There was some information. And some dude, there was a guy in a row taking notes, which I felt pretty professorial. So it was a really good time. Everybody, I can't say enough about the people who Mighty Monkey who put the con on. Man, they were spot on with everything. They did an excellent job. All of their staff were courteous and polite, informational. They could tell you what you needed to know. No one ever seemed annoyed. They did a real good job of stamping down on some of the harassment that can occur sometimes at these places. There was no tolerance and there was no problems. I can't say enough to the entire crew that worked all of the FC3. They were amazing.
Yeah, I'll echo that a little bit and thank them for letting us be a part of that. I think that's really cool. I unfortunately did not get to go. But the fact that we were there and represented, I think it's really cool. And especially because it's more or less, that's your hometown.
Right. It was neat.
Yeah, that's really fun. We're going to do our best to get the audio from that show, but we're not going to promise anything.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on, so we didn't actually get any of the audio ourselves. So we'll do our best to get that for you if at all possible.
I am going to reach out to them and try to get it. I don't want to release it. It's their podcast, so I want them to be able to release the audio through their podcast first. And I am going to reach out to them and see if I can get a copy of that.
We'll release it as a separate episode, not a standard numbered podcast if we get it.
Yes.
But we would like you to be able to hear that here. So I attended, because I couldn't go to that, I attended Married to the Games, which is a local podcast. 2 of them are local out of Nashville. They started roughly the same time as us. We've referenced of them before. Mm-hmm. We went through what we call our dark ages, where we didn't get podcasts out on time, where we struggled, where we missed episodes.
Not a problem. Married with the Games had.
Married to the Games did not have that problem, so they just did their episode 300. Obviously, we're on 282. You can see the difference there. We have been consistent for a long time. Unfortunately, though, we did have our dark ages. Where it didn't happen. So
where we were stripping, trying to make money for school.
Yeah. Exactly. Putting ourselves through college. But I went with Hoff and Show, a.k.a. Gerald. We rode down there last night, and I think that whole thing was live streamed, and you can check it out online now, episode 300. It was a lot of fun. It was not a standard episode, not a lot of video game talk, just more about, people hanging out and stuff like that. But I had a good time there. It put me back home a little later than normal, so I didn't end up playing anything last night.
I haven't played anything I'll go into it, but I do have to call out our good friend Hoff Show.
Okay.
You were supposed to ask a question, you son of a bitch.
That's true. He was going to ask a question.
And you did. I specifically asked both of you. I don't know if Gerald didn't have his phone on him.
No, I showed him the message.
But I texted both of you.
Because I will say Gerald was very respectful and was not on his phone. You know, I'm grown.
Not like you.
I'm grown. Yeah,
I
was
could
on my
see
phone.
you, and I was watching you, and I text to see when you would look at my text.
Dude,
it was like Inception. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was in my lap. I just looked at it immediately. I don't care.
So, yeah, Gerald, I'm a little disappointed that you didn't ask the question that you were going to ask.
He had a question all queued up and everything, and he didn't do it.
And you even had a great segue into the question, and you bailed.
I thought so, too. And I even, in case the segue was missed, I said, look, this is your time. Like, it's now. It's almost like this moment was created for you to go ask your question.
And you did. So I gotta call you out on that, buddy. I'm a little disappointed.
Yep. So we did that. We are going to Sony's Theater E3 experience, I think they call it.
You are going?
Tomorrow.
I was not able to.
They really scaled back this year, too.
I know.
Did they even have one near you?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But same one I went to last year. But I had too much going on, and I didn't get the tickets, and now I can't get them.
Oh, they're out?
Yeah. It
was a much easier process this year for reserving them, but they really scaled back. Like there's probably half the theaters there were last year.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that means a bigger rewards for the folks that do go.
I'm really disappointed that that I'm not able to go. I might have to look back into it and see if maybe they have something. But last I checked, they were.
You could just show up too, because I got in one year without a ticket.
Really?
Yeah, they do. So it's first call is everyone that has a ticket, and then after that they start taking the reserve line. And I got in from the reserve line because they were sold out one time when I tried, or not sold out, but gone, and I still got in. Gerald got a ticket, was in, giving me like live updates, like still about 75 seats left. I'm trying to count the people in line, count where I am in line. But yeah, I did get to go to that, and it was, I've enjoyed those. I've been to all of those so far, and I signed up for this. I did not sign up for the episode 300, but Gerald plus won me because I still thought that I would be in New York, so
right.
I was able to go with him to that last night because he had done that for me in case, and we both have tickets for tomorrow night, so I don't see any issues with going to that. It's late though. It starts at 8.
Yeah, it's 9 my time.
Yeah, it's late. On Sony, some people got to work.
That's another reason I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah,
I was kind of because the theaters. This theater that I have to go to is about an hour from me.
There's only 2 in New York at all.
And the other one's in New York City.
Oh yeah.
And the next closest one is like Cleveland or some shit, which is again an 8-hour drive.
There's only one in all of the state of Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy.
Yep. They really scaled back, and it's so late. And then traffic in that area is bad all the time to begin with. So by the time it's done, I'm not getting back till midnight. I got to be up. I got to be to work at 7. I just don't think it's going to be plausible this year.
Right. I get that.
Which sucks, but because I do want to go. But
I enjoy watching that with a group of people and hearing their reactions.
I do too, and I like the free stuff.
I love the free stuff. I like the cards, the posters, the junk. I like all of it. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm all in. I like a trinket.
You do love a trinket.
I love a dust collector. That's my stepdad called them growing up.
Dust collectors?
Anything that didn't have a purpose was a dust collector. Even if its purpose was to make you happy.
It seems legit.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about EA, unless you have something else to add.
No, nothing else to add.
I beat Dangerous Golf finally. Let me throw that out there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to support them. You guys know how I am about Downton Odd. I love them. Life is Strange. They do great work. So I did pick up Vampire on Tuesday and have begun playing it about 6 hours in. Really like it so far. Very story and narrative driven, character driven. Some minor combat issues with it, but they're not horrible, and it's not what the game's supposed to be about. So, if it's something I'm not very far into it. I've barely broken the start, so I don't want to talk too much about it. Just that I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully, I'll be able to play a little bit more this week and have more to touch on next week. So,
all right, let's jump into EA's press conference.
Okay.
I'll go a little out of order here. It is what it is. Let's start with Battlefield 5.
Okay.
They showed off some Battlefield 5. They also confirmed the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale mode.
called Just Royale.
Just Royale.
Royale.
It's not a bad name.
It's not great.
What about Podcast Royale and we just talk about Battle Royale games?
You better find a buddy.
What about 100 podcasts jump off a plane? They all land on an island.
And they all fight it out to be the number one. To be the winner chicken dinner.
There's a circle getting smaller somewhere. I don't know.
So that could be the frequencies. The frequencies get smaller.
See, now you're getting on board. It's they didn't show off a lot about Battlefield. They showed off a new trailer. They talked about Battle Royale a little bit. I mean, the it looks fine. It looks like a Battlefield game. It looks different than Call of Duty, which I think is what those two games always try to do, is separate themselves.
I'll tell you what I like. I'll tell you the coolest thing I took away from the Battlefield 5 trailer was you can now dive roll through windows.
Right.
Which, why hasn't this been a thing anyway?
They got their dive roll tech going.
It looks
window dive roll tech.
Well, saying that made me realize how much I missed that in games I've played in the past.
Yeah. Of course, they did the things we knew they would do. FIFA 19, Madden 19. On an odd twist, they spent more time than I would have ever guessed on NBA Live 19.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weird. I guess because the finals finished up the day before.
Yeah, but hats off that they haven't given up yet.
True.
Still trying to do that whole thing. We saw Star Wars Battlefront 2, where they showed off the Clone Wars DLC after coming out and with their tail tucked and saying we screwed up. We thought things would already have rolled out with this, but instead we had to fix the game.
Yeah, that we broke.
Now we're getting back to supporting the game. So they showed off, and I'll say it seemed pretty well received in that room.
Yeah, everybody seemed to like it.
Now, that room is stocked with media and fans of the said thing. So
without a doubt.
Yeah, I get that. They then went into what I consider to be a very awkward short talk about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is Respawn's Star Wars game.
You know, the game sounds like it's probably going to be kind of cool, but man, was it weird the way they went about explaining it.
Yeah, so Andrea Renee hosted the event. I really like her, but you could tell she's doing what they wanted her to do, but she was interviewing, I can't remember dude's name right now. Everybody will get upset about that, but whatever. And you could tell, like, you can't say anything, but they're asking these, like, goofy, like, scripted questions of, are you going to hold a lightsaber? And, it wasn't good.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
It's going to be amazing. That's why you kept saying that over and over, and it's like, okay, yeah, everybody thought that about Battlefront 2 also.
Yeah, they maybe should have just, hey, this is going to be a thing, and left it at that without the questions.
What about just a logo flash?
Just a logo flash, exactly, something.
Just show the logo and then just.
But it's obvious that they were. It was very obvious they weren't in a position to say anything about the game. So why have questions?
So come on, he said, obviously you play as the Jedi, and it takes place between 3 and 4, I think.
Yep. After Order 66 has gone down, and you're a Padawan who managed to escape Order 66. So
not much there, but people will buy it. People love the Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
People love the Star Wars. They took a deep dive in this EA Origins, this premium streaming service of theirs.
Essentially, now it looks like the only thing it allows you to do differently for $10 a month is play all EA games about a week early. Mm-hmm. You still get everything else you get with EA Access. That's the difference, is that you get them all early.
Then they went into a fine game, but an awkward presentation that took way too long of Command & Conquer Rivals, which is a new phone-based Command & Conquer game.
Yeah, people do love Command & Conquer. But
I like Command & Conquer.
But
did not like this.
This was just weird.
Mistake number one, they had a shoutcaster.
They had a shoutcaster, yes.
This doesn't work at E3. It doesn't play well. It's like two dudes I've never heard of playing a match announced by some dude I've never heard of.
Yep.
On a game I've never seen before. It's too much. But the game looked fun. I can see how it would be fun to play. It's available now on Android, coming soon for iOS. I think it's early access.
Mm-hmm. It is early access.
I don't know if they called it alpha or beta or whatever they called it. But available now on Android. Then my big moment of the show, and rather unexpected. They showed off Unravel 2.
And announced that it is out now.
It is out right now. They did one of those things. They're like, Unravel 2, and it's available now. Like, go get it. Love on it. There are 2 Yarnies now.
Uh-huh.
They missed a real spot to call it Yarny and Yarnette, but I get it. They're 2 Yarnies. I think... So it still has all its charm, all its character. I worry how hard this game is going to be to play because it looks like it was built for a co-op experience. They showed how you can play solo, but I still wonder how many times I'm going to have to use both of them.
Right.
I don't care. I'll buy it. I'll support it. I love the guy that that made the first game, who was out there again and is still emotional about the thing that he gets to make. I love that EA works on these smaller indie titles. Yeah. And by all accounts, no matter what you think of EA, those people that get their indie games out on EA speak very highly of them.
Yes.
For as far as the people they work with at EA. So that was a super cool moment. The other one is blue, which I like. There's a blue one and a red one now. His string breaks. He loses his spark. He finds another one. They, I guess the best way to explain it is they avatar their yarns like you do with braid. Mm-hmm. They connect those to each other, and they get their spark back, but they become one, connected by their yarn.
Yes.
So that looked a lot of fun. They also showed off a new title that's coming from their indie side. That's called Sea of Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Internally, they're calling it SOS, I guess.
It looks good.
You're battling with some inner demons in a game that looks really, really cool.
It does look just good. It's almost got like a Firewatch walking through your emotional and mental demons type thing. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and she spoke about how everyone has, everyone could become a monster.
Yes.
Your main character has become one.
Everyone has their id.
Sees herself as such, and it looks really cool.
It does look good.
Then we got Anthem, which is where they spent most of their time.
Which is no surprise.
No surprise. I don't think... So, some of the stuff we didn't know that we learned, the suits are called javelins.
Knew that.
Yeah, that's a thing. Did you know they were javelins before now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know they were called javelins till yesterday.
Didn't know that you could, basically they acted as your classes and you could switch them out at will. Right.
After missions is what I got from that. You can't switch them like on the fly, but after a mission's over.
Yes, but you're not.
The game is a living, breathing world, but your hub world is the single player part of things.
Yes.
So that you're not, screwed over by somebody after a mission. It doesn't look like all that is independent. And that's also how they let your influence, your choices, your choice to influence your story is the stuff that happens in the hub world after.
Yes.
The game looks pretty. I don't feel like I know any more about it. They did a weird Q&A after.
They did. I don't... Essentially what this game looks like it is it's a... It's
Destiny.
It's a Mass Effect version of Destiny.
Yeah. Everybody's making a comparison to Destiny, and I think I think they know that.
I think that's a fair comparison. I think that, to be honest, I think that's what BioWare was looking for. I think they were going for their version of a Destiny game. It is going to be in third person. It's not going to be in first, which is huge for me. But I'm this one is I'm curious about it. I don't know that I'm a little excited about it. I don't know that I'm can't wait. But I am looking forward to hearing more about it before it comes out, and I'm pretty sure this is one I'll probably be picking up. I'm a BioWare guy, so
I'm not excited about it, but they haven't ruined it for me. They haven't ruled out that I would buy it.
Right. Which for you is huge, especially considering that it's essentially a Space Marine story.
Yeah, it looks way more action adventure than I thought it was going to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they keep saying it's not an RPG. Like, that's not what it's meant to be. It's not an MMO. Like, they don't want to classify it as anything. And I think, obviously, you'll be able to classify it when you play it. But they haven't totally turned me off from it. I'm not excited yet, but there's still plenty of time.
One thing that is cool that I thought was very interesting was you not only can upgrade the suits, but you can upgrade the character that you put in the suits. So essentially, it's almost like the suits become another skill branch for your character. So that's kind of neat because how you upgrade your character is going to affect how you can use the suits and upgrade the suits. So it sounds like there's going to be a little bit of strategy going on there. Mm-hmm. They did show some huge adversaries, mm-hmm. Almost Monster Hunter style. So I'm curious if it's going to have a style of that for the co-op, that monster style type setup.
They did say that you could play the whole game by yourself. It would be a lot harder if you did. Mm-hmm. I think they used the word challenging, but you could do that. And they gave a release date for that, for Anthem.
They did. And it is February 22nd, 2019.
You know what's interesting about February 22nd, 2019?
We may have different definitions of interesting, but sure.
It is the same date that Sony has given for Days Gone.
Which brings us to Garrett's shout-out this week. Mm-hmm. I know it's a little out of place, we should do them at the end, but perfect segue.
Yeah, patreon.com/Gamestitch. Support us at the $10 tier. You get a shout-out.
He asks us, so Anthem and Days Gone are coming out on the same day. Mm-hmm. Which one are you getting?
Here's the answer that no one will like.
You're not getting either one.
I don't know enough about Anthem to want to buy it yet. Days Gone does not look very good to me, but I will probably buy it. I will probably play Days Gone. I may play both of them. If you know anything about me, I'm not typically a this or that kind of person. Mm-hmm. I just play whatever looks fun to me. Right. I think Anthem would be fun to play with you and a couple other people. Days Gone, everyone says it's a beautiful world with nothing going on. I've played lots of those. I sure hate to miss an experience if it ends up being good, though. I just got to say that nothing about that makes me feel like that game's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My answer is nowhere near as complicated as Ryan's. Anthem, all day. BioWare. I've talked about BioWare. I love BioWare. I want to see BioWare succeed. Anthem has to succeed for BioWare to succeed. So I want to do my part to ensure that BioWare succeeds.
Yeah, if I had to pick one, it would be Days Gone, but it's not for the reasons that I think it'll be a better game. And that could change before we get there. I mean, like I said, Anthem didn't turn me off, which is a good thing. So
Days Gone, and this is my answer right now, it could change, but Days Gone does not look good to me. It does not look like the type of experience I enjoy.
Doesn't look good at all.
And I don't know that even if it was an experience I enjoy, that it's going to be good anyway.
Sticking with release dates, Kingdom Hearts 3 got a release date.
January 29th, 2019.
I never guessed that game was that close. I was starting to think that game would never come out.
I know.
Sony also showed off a new game by Don't Nod called Twin Mirror. I know this got your juices flowing.
I like Don't Nod. I'm starting to get concerned, though.
Yeah. Working on a lot.
Don't Nod's first game was Remember Me. It was not great. It was a AAA title. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrible. It was just kind of a middle-of-the-road game. It was decent. The ideas behind it were interesting. They kind of took some of those ideas with the time travel aspect. Manipulation, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And they kind of moved those over to their next game, which was Life is Strange, which everyone knows I rave about. After that, they got back into Life is Strange a little bit. They didn't mess with it too much with the Before the Storm, but they basically let another studio handle that because they were taking care of Vampire, which released this past Tuesday, and I will have more information on last week, as I already spoken about. Now they're getting into this Twin Mirror, which seems to be more, again, of an indie experience. But I'm just worried that they're not a huge studio. I think they got to be careful about spreading themselves thin, or else they are going to start putting out less than stellar games, and I don't know if they're in a position where they can afford that.
Yeah. I agree with you. Sony revealed that is coming to Xbox One and PC also, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, for what it's worth.
I hope it's good. I will, of course, buy it regardless.
Right.
Because, again, don't nod. And I want to see them succeed. And maybe they're growing as a studio. I don't know. They're pretty good about just staying out of the bullshit and just working on games and putting out games. You don't hear about them a lot in the news or anything. They just kind of do their thing.
Right. There was a accidental leak of Hitman 2 last week. They went ahead and confirmed that.
Yep. Did they give a release on it? I don't remember that.
Let me check. I don't know if they did or not. They did say that it is not episodic.
It is not episodic. It is all one game. They actually showed pictures later of the collector's edition and some of the different editions.
I think this thing got a date. Just give me a second, because I'm pretty sure it did.
I think it did too. I feel like it's November, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's November, I think. I'm trying to see if they gave an actual date, a hard date.
Because
November 13th, and it'll come out on, again, PC, Xbox One, and PS4. Not episodic, though. It also has co-op assassinations, which I kind of dig.
That might be kind of neat, but man, that last Hitman let me down.
Mm-hmm.
I was so annoyed. What else we got?
Let's see what else we have here.
We're just chilling. What you got?
Blah, 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 blah. Sony showed off the Tetris Effect for VR by the gentleman who brought you Rez, and that looks like a lot of fun.
Looks like your kind of game.
Tetris in VR, okay. Yeah.
Looks like I would not enjoy it at all.
So that looks fun to me. And I think that's mostly it. There are a few other things floating out there. Several people have reached out to me and said, hey, they rated or whatever. The paperwork for Fortnite Switch is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that. We'll still talk about it once it happens. It was a safe prediction for us. It's not like we thought that it wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming for Switch.
Yeah, so I have seen that. I know several of you have reached out to me saying, have you seen this? I have. So we'll talk about that more next week. Also, I forgot to say this earlier. I did a stream.
You did do a stream.
YouTube.com/Gamestitch. Live streamed Rec Room, which I've done before. It's a PSVR title, but they added their Rec Royale. And I thought, I know what the internet needs. A little more Battle Royale. Let me get on here and put a video up.
And you did. And
I had someone who was uber helpful in there with me that talked from start to finish. And I appreciate that. I did not do well. I did not perform well.
No, you didn't.
Fourth or third was my best. The problem is, it had been a while since I had played Rec Room, and getting used to the controls again, and then having no idea, and there's no tutorial on Rec Royale. I couldn't figure out anything. I kept shooting the floor, trying to holster my gun. But yeah, that's fun. Check that out. Again, we promise you one stream a month. Boom, June, done.
Bang.
We'll do more because I have another surprise. I picked up Troll and I, which I think I've talked about before.
This is going to rank right up there with Life of Black Tiger, by the way.
Yeah, maybe. So I've wanted this game since I saw it. It looks like crap, but in an okay way. Like, I'm not talking the graphics. I'm talking about, like, the game doesn't look like a AAA game, but they present themselves like a AAA game. Anyways, it's always been too expensive. Toys R Us, going out of business, I found it for 60% off. It made it $12, and I thought that's the right price for me to play that and get at least an hour stream out of it. So that's probably gonna bump to the top of my list. Troll and I is going to happen. It may even happen this week.
We need to get into A Way Out. We need to start that.
Have A Way Out ready to go. I need to see how that works. I need to download that to mine and see how it works for you, if you have to download the whole thing or how it works. So maybe we'll work on some setup for that.
To figure that out, because we need to get that going. I'm still going to do Beyond Two Souls.
Yes, and we have H1Z1 together that we want to try.
And we have H1Z1 that we want to try. So we actually have a lot of streams. And don't hold me to this, but I'm thinking that I might start hooking up my camera so that you can see this gorgeous mug when I'm
see this whole face.
Yeah, this chiseled piece of perfection right here.
Also, some of you have reached out asking for video of the VR so you can see what I'm doing. That is complicated because you can't use the camera to record
because you're using it
for VR. So I'd have to set up my GoPro and then have to line those up, and I just don't know that I'm ready for that. So I hear you. Also, if extra credit, if you watch the beginning of Rec Room, I almost fall down. I don't acknowledge it or call it out. I assume you can hear me lose my footing, but I almost fell down.
Do you make the noise? Oh,
I don't know what I do. I mean, I almost fell down, and it's very disorienting because you can't tell where you are. So I crossed my feet up as I went to move. I stumbled to the left, and then because I can't see where I am, I thought if I reached out, I could touch the wall, which wasn't there. So I shifted my weight to catch myself on the wall, which I wasn't close to, and then stumbled even harder, and I all but hit the ground. Like I crossed up, I was like probably inches from the ground, and did not go all the way down and sit up. And I didn't acknowledge it because I'm a champ, but you could probably tell when it happens. I think I'm in the bathroom of one of the buildings when it happens. But yeah, I almost went down. So check that out. It's a lot of fun.
Fair enough.
Now, because it's not a normal week, do you want to just do shout outs and get out of here?
Yeah, we can do that. I do want to just point out real quick that Crackdown 3 has been pushed back again. True.
2019 now for that gym.
Don't know what that means. Not sure it's good for Microsoft.
Probably adding a Battle Royale mode.
That's my guess. But actually, I think Battle Royale might work really cool in Crackdown. But
I'm just over it. I'm over Battle Royale already.
I know you are, but you just streamed it 4 days ago, so shut your pie hole.
But
you can't be that over it. I don't want to hear it. No, if you were over it, you wouldn't have done that. The end.
Their Battle Royale is only 14 people, so it's doing something different.
They're all trying to do something different, but it's all the same concept.
But what I'm saying is it's pretty much a death match, though. At 14 people. I mean, it's 14 people. It's not really the only thing they have in common is a circle.
Maybe.
And you do jump in the beginning.
Yeah, from a cable car.
Which is cool. I like a good cable car. That game looks like crap, but when you're playing it, it's real fun. Everybody with a VR, check out Rec Room. It's free. Don't be a dick.
We already did Garrett's shout out.
We did Garrett's shout out. Remember, patreon.com/Gamestitch. If you support the $10 tier over there, you get a shout out. So let me do Thomas's shout out. Now, I will say he sent this to me last week, right after we recorded, I think.
Can you find it?
Yeah, I can find it, but I don't know if he feels the same way. Let me scroll up here.
Okay.
Also, Thomas, I sent you a picture of Troll and I, and you didn't respond, but you read it. Just saying. Waiting on that.
maybe he's got life to do, man.
Yeah, he read it at 3 a.m.
To be fair, that's like 1 his time. No, he's an hour behind you.
Nope. Yep. I played Sea of Thieves also to do the stuff with you and Howard.
Oh wait, I played that too. Yeah,
we got some of that stuff, but I want to take the Megalodon down before that goes away. But we got to get some people in there. We need a crew of 4, and then we got to find a couple other dudes.
Yes.
But yeah, his shout out is you should, if you're a PC guy, if you play on PC, you should definitely check out Star Citizen, which I assume is where he has been because I've not seen him on the consoles very much.
I haven't either. I heard that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, people like that. A lot of money there. A lot of money in Star Citizen.
Uh-huh.
So, check that out. Check it out. Those are our shout-outs. Thanks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting us be a part of your day.
We know it was short this week, but
sometimes she ain't as long as she used to be.
Yeah, sometimes. We had the con yesterday. We had a little bit of EA. There was no news other than that. We figured but we didn't want to leave you guys without, so we just went over some of the little things. You want us to hear the melodious sounds of our voice, because we understand what we bring to the table, and we don't want you to miss out on that.
Let these sweet, sweet mouth waves invade your ear holes.
Ooh, yeah.
And, we'll have a comprehensive recap of everything next week. By comprehensive, I mean we'll talk about it for a while.
Yep.
As in depth as we ever go. But yeah, looking forward to that, and again, it'll give us time to kind of collect our thoughts and let the smoke fade instead of having to record everything all at once.
Yesterday, between everything at the con and doing the panel and being part of that podcast and trying to pay attention to E3 at the same time while I was there on my phone, it was a disaster.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
I still haven't got a chance to. Ryan pretty much filled me in on some of this stuff because I wasn't aware of it yet because I got home and went to bed. And woke up this morning to do the podcast.
I watched it after it was rolled, but I watched the whole thing. Also, shout out to Rocket League World Championships going on right now. It is the final day.
Did it finally go live?
They're in London, so they go live London, at like 7 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to turn that on after we get out of here so I can maybe get some free stuff.
Yeah, today's the final day. Yeah, I did get a reward yesterday and today. Yesterday I already had. I don't know what I got yet today. Howard got 3 the first day he watched.
What?
That pissed me off a little bit.
I bet.
But they will crown a champion today. It doesn't do you any good when you're listening to this podcast, but it's cool, man. I like Rocket League. I like to see these stands totally full. I
did play some Rocket League this week.
It looks like they put seat covers over the seats when no one's there. It looks like there's egg people there, and I like that. That's a nice touch. Nice touch, Psyonix. They also are calling themselves the most exciting esports game. Esports
Probably
most
true.
Exciting game. Yeah, I think
Probably
so.
true. I think
so.
that's true.
It's fast paced. The games are short.
Either that or that Overwatch team that's
Overwatch
like 0-38.
Yeah, real close too.
I kind of like them.
Yeah.
Kind of like rooting for the underdog. So if you're 0-38, you're my guy.
Yeah, you're the Cleveland Browns of Overwatch. Congratulations. Thanks, Cleveland. This has been episode 282. Thanks for joining us. Again, full E3 recap next week. Send us your tweets. Send us your thoughts. We want to know all about it. We'll include some of that next week's @game_stitch if you want both of us. @Podcast Ryan if you want me. @Shirtless Dan if you want Dan. And we look forward to it. Good night.
Good night.